So this is a Raspberry Pi, right? This is a Raspberry Pi. And at one side, there is a C-type. Only one C-type. So this C-type USB port is for the power supply. And then two additional ports next to it. That is HDMI port, micro HDMI port. If you look at, pull out your HDMI cable. If you see the HDMI cable, then one side, that is the regular port, HDMI. And the other side, I think this is a micro or mini, whatever, right? That is a small ones. The small ones goes into the first one. First one is HDMI 1, and the next one is HDMI 2. If we have two monitors, then you can have HDMI 1, HDMI 2. Okay? You can use this. That's in your kit. What else do you have? There is a case that you can use, and then there is also the air cooler ones. Usually, if you see your Raspberry Pi, I didn't put that there, but I think there is some guidelines that you can place your cooler vent systems somewhere there. Okay. This is a heat up. If you don't do using much, then it doesn't do much. But if you work here very hard, then eventually it heat up. Okay, so you better to attach the cooler panels attached to here. What else do you have? Oh, the very important one is on that. This is the SD card. Okay, this SD card. This is ready to use. Oh, you guys. Can you come here in front and block? Yes. Okay, this is already pre-installed Linux operating systems there in the SD card. I will explain if you do not have this, but if you buy new SD card, of course it doesn't have Raspberry Pi OS installed, right? That is simply empty SD card. When you have an empty SD card, or if you want to rebuild your SD card, then there's different ways that you can install it. On this slide, I already explained that. This is 120 gigabyte capacities. This is really enough for you to do your exercise. What else? Yeah, I think this is pretty much, yeah. Okay. Let's look at them. So this is a SD card. I mean the Raspberry Pi board. If you see here, the memory is somewhere in the middle. Okay, that is the memory. So when I see this, memory is somewhere in the middle. There. Okay. Yours is 8 gigabyte memory, RAM. That is SRAM. And then there is a metal cover in the middle. that is the processor. And then there is an antenna, wireless antenna. That's here. Another small metal on your upper left corner of this. And then PCI Express interface. Some of the Express, the interface that you can use this. There are three different interfaces there. See here, this is a PCI interface. And the other two, that is, what is that? 2x4 lane, MI, PI, DSI, CSI connectors. For example, if you have the camera, small camera to attach this, that you can do that, okay? We have 2 slots for camera lens. And an on and off button, that's a toggle button that you can do that if this guy does not respond to you for long, right? For short time, you don't need to worry about it, just wait. For short means maybe a couple of minutes, but it doesn't respond 10 minutes, 20 minutes, then you can replug, or you can please simply click that button. There's a UART connector that's somewhere here. Here, UART connector. So RTC battery connector, UART connectors, power jack, and then HDMI, 2 of HDMI cables, and we looked at that. And then there is another connector, PoE head connector, Ethernet connector if you want to use Ethernet here directly. And then 4 slots for USB. Two of those is USB Type 2. The other 2 Type 3. And then there's a fan connector. I think you have the fan already, right? Here, you can actually, this fan will attach to the case. You don't need to directly attach here. In the case, you can attach this. And then this fan needs to get power supplied, right? So power can be supplied from I believe that is from here. Yeah. But actually you don't need to connect all of those, right? Like my case, what do I have? Oh, is this mine?
Oh, no, yeah, that is you.
I didn't do anything. It's still okay? All right. Raise your hand if you didn't receive a kit. Shall we? Okay. And allow to perform here. So actually, here we usually use this USB port. So you need to have keyboard and mouse, right? Extra mouse, like mine. I have a mouse. I have keyboard. This is a rollable keyboard, very nice, right? It's good, right? Like this. Don't use this as your pad. Yeah. I think not really expensive. I think mouse maybe $10 is maybe $15. If not 15 or 18. But the thing is this, you don't need to buy that. Once you install it properly, therefore you use the same router. Right? Same router. Same router means your laptop needs to connect to the router, and your Raspberry Pi also connected to the same router, and therefore you may be able to get IP address. So you set up some program, the program called NCA program. So welcome to it. So
Sorry.
well, sorry. I have no more. That's very hard. See, everybody does that. I'll bring one. Okay, can you pull out the phone and take one? Okay, have some idea about your feeling from your level high on the components right now. Well, that one. You have this. This one. That's coming from here. You don't need to take this out, right? This is already done. This is one of the USB adapter. When you have extra SD card to build, then you can use this. The SD card that you received already contains predefined OS, so you do not need it. But I want you to keep this. I'll explain this how we use it. This is the monitor, extra monitor that I have. This is 5-inch. Okay. You can use this big monitor if you want. Raise your hand if you want to do voluntary first to install everything your side. Who is the lead tech? Raise your hand if you think you are 8. Okay, then what about second? Okay. So we'll all together outlining how we does. You can, but I have a video over there, so don't worry about it. You can follow that video. But all together right now, I have you don't need to worry about this. So I will proceed my lecture first, and then we will do hands-on. Okay. All right. This is the back side of your Raspberry Pi. All right. So as you can see here, this SD card is plugged in already, right? Into this. If you see your SD card, one side there is a pin, the other side is simply plastic, completely covered by plastic, and one side there's a multiple gold pins. The gold pin needs to attach. When you plug this, which side did you want to plug? That gold pin needs to. You need to plug that gold pin may be able to touch the circuit board. Okay. You don't need to do that right now. Okay, specification of RPI 5. It has a CPU, Broadcom BCM 2712, that type of things there, right? That is somewhere here, right? That is a CPU. So which one is a CPU? This is a CPU. Okay, the metal cover, that is a CPU. And the GPU, Video Core 7, OpenGL ES 3.1, Vulkan 1.2 support, enhanced graphical performance, which is useful for multimedia tasks, gaming, general graphical user interface performance. That graphics card, many decades ago we called that graphical card, right? Graphics card, but not anymore. That is circuit that is already embedded. RAM See, ours is 8 gig RAM. RAM also embedded in it. So if you look at your Raspberry Pi, then this RAMs are there, right? RAM, not RAMs, RAM. The random access memory. That's already printed. And the storage, your storage is nothing but SD card. Okay, you can later. So SD card is plugged in, behind this side, and then we have a USB connectors. And if you have a USB memory stick, then you can store some data in that memory stick. So that is external. That is extra storage. You can use that. So we call that mount. You need to mount that extra the memory stick into it. So SD card is the main storage where your Raspberry Pi OS stored. If you want to load more, for example, your photo or any documents, anything else that you want to add, then you can store that on your memory stick. But to use it, it's not like the memory stick that you use to your laptop. When you use memory stick into your laptop, that is very simple, right? You simply plug in, then your laptop understands it, identify it quickly, so you don't have to worry about it. But in this Linux, you have to do some configurations. Okay, we call that mount. You need to mount your memory stick. Therefore, a Raspberry Pi OS can identify it. That will come further later, because everything should be done by command line. So we need to first learn the command. Maybe at earliest next week. Okay, so start from the command so that we can learn how the Linux machine, Linux operating systems can do some work for us. That comes later. And connectivities, Ethernet. We have Ethernet cable, USB, and wireless. Okay, so for example, here USB connectors, and this is Ethernet. Ethernet connector is we have also the real from the server. We have Ethernet connections. These are all Ethernet connections. Yeah, that is Ethernet cables. What else? The wireless, dual band, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, they're all embedded. Okay, so wireless connections possible from your Raspberry Pi. Video output, HDMI ports available. Power supplies, USB-C type. Your USB-C type supplies 5 volts, maximum 5 volts. So some of these pins, if you successfully connect your power supplies, some of these pins also the line of power. So you can see some of the lines, some of the pins that runs 5 volts, some of the lines that runs 3.3 volts. If you see that card, if you see that card, then somewhere on top there's a 3.3 volts and 5 volts. Some of the volts it is. You can take some, there's a chair. Yeah, chair over here, and then there's chair also. Yeah, this is the chairs. Right. One student sit over here. And if more students come, then take my chair. This passage? Yeah, over there, yeah. Okay. You notice that some of the pins, there's a voltages. 3.35 volts. Yeah, basically those two types of pins are available. Eric, why are you right there?
Because
Where's for that?
what do you know? Graduate.
Oh, how did you know that?
Right.
I didn't ask you to sign it.
Not yet.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, there's your test. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that one. I give you one.
Okay, always.
Which one? Sit over there. Oh, yeah. So I need to bring more one.
I think it's true. Anybody else have a final question? I mean,
No.
they'll show you where it is.
No.
Signature and date. If we have one more student to come, that's right.
You want to switch?
Okay. So camera interface, 2 ports there, GPIO pins. We have 40 pins. Those are all GPIO. General purpose input and output ports. As I said, GPIO pins are used for the sensor devices. If you have sensors and program here to identify some environment, you can do that. But we will not do in this class. And the other one is I/O and expansions and thermal management. This guy has cooling systems. The physically cooling systems provided, but it also detect that sensors, temperature sensors, and do appropriate behaviors from that operating systems. That will be next. Operating systems, so-called, formerly used called Raspbian, but now it is called the Raspberry Pi OS. That is similar to Debian, Debian-based operating systems. Debian is very, very powerful Linux operating system. So if you were asked, for example, in the future at some interviews, you know Linux, you answer yes. What type of Linux have you used? And it's Debian, right? So one says, oh, I don't know, but I got that one. Ask my right problem. Okay. The installation is very trivial in our case. Why? Already installed. Okay? As I said, that small, give it to me, thank you. Because you guys already have this, okay? Don't lose SD card here. Okay? 128 gigabytes bit size containing that operating system. We don't need to do anything, right? Installation wise, it is ready. Now we need to configure it, right? A little later. Configuration is still needed. So ours is a predefined SD card. If you need to install on the brand new SD card, then there's another slide that comes after this. So you will see it. OS configuration, that's already, yeah, we'll come back this. And then this is our goal. When you have this, then you are all set to go. Okay, this is the Linux running already. There's some the useful YouTube videos available, so you can check out as you wish. And this is a short introduction about that GPIO pin. Some GPIO pins are designated. So depending upon your mode, in your programming, we don't do that here, but one mode is a GPIO PCM, the other mode is a GPIO board mode. Two different modes. So details will be not in this class. Okay, this slide explains to you when you have SD card that does not have predefined OS, any regular SD card, okay? SD card from markets, then has nothing to do with your Linux, right? Then what you need to do? Two ways that you can install NUBs, new out-of-box software installations, or you can use RPI OS Imager. This is much easier, as I said here. You can download that program from here, www.raspberrypi.org/downloads. Then you can get this program. Okay, this is the program. You simply fill those information and click Start button. Then you can make your the Raspberry Pi OS. In the meantime, if your SD card is not brand new, there's a case, right? SD card has been used, not for the purpose of this Raspberry Pi OS, but something else. You put there some photos, some documents, PowerPoint slides, something else, right? So you don't need them. Then you need to clean them out, which means format it. You can format SD card first. You can download the format program, sdcard.org. So once your SD card is brand new, becomes reformatted, then you can come back here to download the RPI OS Imager. Okay, this Imager. So using that Imager, you can do that. Okay. So my lecture is done for today. I already if you go to your class Blackboard, I'll turn this on, visible. There's a recording. I recorded this yesterday. So Raspberry Pi OS installation and configuration.
Hello everyone. Today we are going to look at the Raspberry Pi operating system installation and BNC configurations.
Let's see how I can.
All details will be explained on your slide, but I am going to see hands-on lab. Here installation, RPI Raspberry Pi Model 5. Assembly is very, very trivial as far as you have pre-installed SD card. Let me show to you the pre-installed SD card. This is, if you see here, 128 gigabytes Raspberry Pi OS. That's already installed here. So you can take this out. And then from your kit, there's a Raspberry Pi 5, 8 gig of RAM. You can take out this device, and as you can see here, there's USB ports and Ethernet ports. We can use this USB ports for your keyboard and mouse, and also the monitor. The most important thing here on the side, there's a HDMI, mini HDMI port. 2 of them are available. If you have only one monitor, I wanted to use this, the first one, low one, just right above from this power line. Power line is C-type of USB. So actually what you need to do is to, this predefined, pre-installed Raspberry Pi OS SD card, plug in here behind this the device. Then there is a SD card slots, so you can there is a pin. This pin needs to be touched at the motherboard here. Okay, so you can push this like this, and then supply the power. From that point, then you can see this SD card configuration. Okay, so we'll come back to this. But just in case, if you do not have pre-installed SD card, or if you want to make a new SD card to be ready for the Raspberry Pi OS, the Linux. Say this is yet brand new ones. It's not really bootable yet. Then what you need to do is you need to from the kit there is a what is it called? This is a USB micro SD card reader. So card reader here. So I'm going to pull this out. Then here there is the regular USB slots available. On back side there is another SD card slots. So 2 slots available from this one adapter. So you need to plug this into this SD card slots. Okay. All right, and then get this ready. And then what you need to do is to get you need to download the RPI OS imager. So I'm going to click this to bring that imager down. Okay, so you can download it for Mac OS. If your laptop is Windows, then this will be automatically switched to Windows. So you can download this. Okay, I think it is downloaded already. And go back here, download. Then there's an RPI imager downloaded, right? So click this. And I want to put this in the application folder. And currently I have the earlier version. So make it replaced with the new versions. All right. And then if I come here, the application.
Yeah. wait. So
Actually, application here. Ooh. Only one application. Chrome app. What's this? Probably not. I think I need to back up a little further. One more backup. Here, top level applications.
So application is
Then-
one level above my home directory. If you are working on that.
Raspberry Pi Imager, right? Yep. Is this installed? Yeah, probably this is installed. Right. So double click this. Raspberry Pi Imager app download. Yeah, you can open it. Then this is the exact same one displayed here on the web, right? That is what I explained on my slide. Come here. And by the way, if you want to format your SD card, if it is dirty, then you need to reformat it, okay? There is a sdcard.org, you can download it and then format it if you want. Other than that, then it is ready. So actually what you need to do, you need to enter here, select a few of those. So choose a device, then you could say Raspberry Pi 5, 4, whatever. So maybe this is the recent version of Raspberry Pi OS, so Debian, the Linux. And then choose OS here, and also you need to choose the device. So I think there's a Raspberry Pi OS, right? Operating systems. This is a device. And the storage,
Yeah, for
let's
that.
see. Here it asks you to choose. If I plug these two,
Your SD
um,
is plugged in here.
hold on.
USB card in this.
I need to, because my MacBook does not have this, the typical USB 2 or 3 types, but only C types available from my MacBook. So I need to find out the connector. All right, so
This is something that you need to rebuild.
give me a second. I will come back to get it. So I now found, unplug this. This is a USB port, and this guy can plug in. This is a C type, and this is a converter of those adapter. So I'm going to plug C type into my MacBook. Or if I get that, I want to have here. This is the reader. So I'm going to plug this in
Here's called the SD card.
one of these slots. Okay, this is reader, and all together back into the MacBook. Okay, so this guy picked up quickly, right? 128.2 gigabytes. So you can choose this. If you choose this, and then there's a next. I do not want to. Let's see what happens if I do next. Then,
Don't try to use.
would you like to apply with customization settings, edit settings, and then you can go further.
If you want to do
Let's
it,
see
you can find
if I
another
do any further. So this is a little older version. This is a new version. Edit settings. If I click this. Oh yeah, it's a set host name. Currently it is a set Raspberry Pi. Set your username Jaeyoon and password, configuration SSID, and all of this, and save. And then if you save, then this guy might ask you to, here, would you like to do? If you say yes, then from that point, the Raspberry Pi OS will be loaded on my SD card. But because this is SD card is already done that is the same effect as I do here, yes, right now. So mine is done, so I would say I want to just unplug. All right, so this is one way that you could do if you want to redo. Okay, so this is done. Once it is done, then you can go back to
Yeah.
this,
right
the
here.
configurations. All right, so I'll show that to you. All right, so
So,
come back here.
If you want to work
Again,
on-
this is a Raspberry Pi
Find the
device.
SD card,
I want to
then
plug
you start
this.
from here.
That's a pin should be on, should touch on this motherboard here, the circuit board. Plug this, and I have. When I plug this, then what would happen is, this guy. This guy needs the displayer. Okay, so I'm going to bring up displayer. Okay, I have a small displayer. Okay, this may be 5-inch, 7-inch. I do not remember that. I am going to plug this. I'm going to connect this with the. The Raspberry Pi, and then I have extra mouse, and also I have keyboard. This is a rollover keyboard. I'll show this to you. This is a rollover. Okay, like this. This is very handy. I can roll this, so I'm going to use this. Okay. And then I do have the power for the monitor. Actually, there is a 5-inch monitor. So I am going to, it's a 5-inch monitor. For this, the side, there is a, is it this way? Oh yeah, the other side. Yeah, plug in here. I need to push this to, I need the power lines. It's real messy, right? Okay. Okay, so power line is up. No signals. And then I need to do connected this HDMI. So this Raspberry Pi has the port for micro. I want to plug this into the first one. Then this is HDMI number 1 port. This should be connected to this monitor. Okay, so I have here HDMI and this side power lines. So display is ready, and I have the mouse and keyboard. Okay, mouse and keyboard. So what I want to do here, back to my Raspberry Pi, put this, anything that you want. Okay, 1, 2, this and the other one. Okay, both of these are connected. So this Raspberry Pi has, I think this is a mouse and keyboard and HDMI for display, and also here SD card. So Raspberry Pi is ready. Finally, I want to plug my power line. So USB Type-C into here. This is the power lines. Okay, so plug this. Okay, see what happens from our so you may be able to see from my monitor, small monitor.
So once it is displays that logo of a Raspberry Pi, and then
It takes a
the monitor is blackened.
little while,
But don't worry about it.
not too long.
Just 4 seconds.
All right.
No signal comes
So
from the
if I
Raspberry
see
Pi.
this
But eventually
clearly,
will
it
have
says,
that.
welcome to Raspberry Pi desktop. Before you start using it, there are a few things to set up. Press next to get started. Okay, that's what it says. I'm not sure you can
So you already
see it clearly. So to interact with this Raspberry Pi, therefore we need a keyboard and mouse. So this is a mouse is for this is a mouse connected to the Raspberry Pi. So I'm going to click this. Okay. Click OK. And then next, it says set as country. It has, by default, it is United Kingdom language, British English, and time zone, I think, Belfast. Remember this Raspberry Pi invented in UK, United Kingdom, or England, right? It's not USA products. This is,
you don't change it, but
yeah, England products. So I need to change this to.
reflecting.
So United States, back to United States for the country,
So, New York Times.
and language, American English, time zone, I need to change it to New York. Somewhere, I think there is in New York. Okay. So there is in New York. If you can see, I'm not sure if you can see it, but I chose United States for country, American English for language, New York for time zone, and then just below that time zone, there is the radio button, toggle, whatever. Use English language and US keyboard, so I want to click that. Watch this, click that. And then finally, I need to click on next button. Look at this. Okay. And it runs. It's being installed.
And then the first
All right. Here,
user is
enter username, password, and confirm password. So I would say, for this, therefore, I need also extra term, the keyboard. So I'm going to use the keyboard that is connected to this Raspberry Pi. Okay, let me take a look at this. On the side. Okay, I want to put here Jae-yoon.
my recommendation is that don't use any important password.
And then password.
Rather you may use secret password.
I want to make it simple, so maybe Mercy.
So my case I put there Mercy.
Lowercase Mercy, all,
Maybe something
and then lowercase Mercy.
or your boyfriend.
There's a hidden characters right now, but if I unclick, then you may be able to see that, right? My username is Jae-yoon and password Mercy. If you want to keep this Raspberry Pi securely, then of course you need to put the secure password, right? But I do not want to forget, so Mercy on me. And then there's a next button, so I want to click that next button there. And then I can choose a Wi-Fi network. There are many things that you could think, but yeah, for this, for the Mercy University lab, then I will give you SSID for this Wi-Fi, and then there's a hidden Wi-Fi, and you need to set up well, I'll give you also a password for your home. So you can do this sometimes at home, sometimes at school. So I need to choose one for my router at home. Where it is, I think it is a Verizon. This is Verizon. And hit next button. There I need to put password. Okay, where's my password? I want to see my password that I have.
Router and go out, okay. And universal router provides anything that you want to go out, anything that you want to coming from, fine. But it doesn't allow you to, for example, from your Raspberry Pi and bounce back to your
Okay, here.
It doesn't go out, but hold it back. Accidentally. Doesn't allow. So we set up our own Wi-Fi here. Okay? That is the reason that we cannot afford to just less any regular voice.
I want to check the password by clicking unclick unhide characters. Make sure. Okay, and then hit the next button again. All right. So it is being connected to the Wi-Fi. It says choose browser. Both Chromium and Firefox web browsers are there. So which one that you want to choose? I want to leave it, so Chromium. rather than Firefox. Tick here to uninstall the unused browser. That's okay. I don't need to do that. Okay. Simply click next button. Okay. Don't need to change any other. Update the software by clicking next button.
Update software.
By clicking next button, you can update. This update takes time.
You better do that at home. When you first
In Linux operating systems, update is not the same as upgrade. Update is the software repository, the address. There are a few software repositories are already available for example, Raspberry Pi OS or some of the Linux distributors. So that is the address updates. Once the address updated, then you can upgrade your the software already defined. If that software package is upgraded at the repository side, then it will be upgraded. Download update, please wait. So it's still working.
So how much? I'm there, but if I click next, it's not going to. Yeah, skip it.
It says please wait. Downloading updates, please wait. So let's wait.
Wait.
And then installing updates, please wait again. I think it is being upgraded, I guess. Okay, that's what it is right now. I think it'll take time now. So, where are we? Back to our this. Yeah, we are somewhere here, right? If it is completely done installation, then we need to restart. As it is restarted, then we may be able to see some the first page of that Raspberry Pi OS on your Raspberry Pi. The figures, the photos may not be the same as this. Okay, so it may take time. What I will do is I will stop for a while and then we'll come back when. So I'm going to click on OK button there. OK. And it says setup complete so that I can restart, reboot. And there is a button called restart. Okay, restart.
I'll let you know
I'm
the
going to
other.
restart this. Okay, it is being restarted. All right. It says update notification. Your Raspberry Pi has been upgraded and can now run LabWC. LabWC is an improved Wayland compositor. the part of the desktop which draws the windows. It offers improved performance over the waveform compositor currently running on your system, and we recommend switching to it for the best experience. It is unlikely event that LabWC causes problems. In case of that, then you can switch back to waveform using the Raspberry Pi config command line tool. Then what I want to do is I'm going to say ask me later, okay? Ask me later, but so we're not sure what it is right now. All right, so click on. All right, this is same. The images that you can see here on this slide that you can see here, okay? In this way, your OS configuration is complete. Well, it's not really complete. Something that we need to do, but that will be, well, installation is done. A couple of things that we need to configure, for example, VNC, and if you want to connect sensor devices for your sensor network applications, then we need to do further. But now I think this is what we planned.
Okay, so now you guys know how to do, right? Here's the thing. I wanted to, probably you have your monitor at home, right? At least the TV sets, if it has HDMI connector. So using your TV sets. Now you need to have the actual keyboard and mouse. If you do not have, then it's a right. So next Tuesday I'll bring mine also. Today he's using mine, but next week someone else may get to use mine. Yes, also to set up. So what I wanted to bring next time. Your ethical, your Raspberry Pi, all of this should be properly configured. But it should access your any web page. When you go, hold on. I'll show it to you. Can I? I'm not.
Go ahead, disconnect the line here.
All that's fine. I'm going to show our students what I have. What I have here. So I have a Raspberry Pi here, and I'm going to give power, and of course there is a